Well, good morning from Deep Gap Shelter. I'll get it right sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just dreaming about Dix Creek, and that's why we keep saying Dix Creek instead of Deep Gap. But
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. Yeah, trying to get there. So, so we thought we were going to stay in a shelter last night, but about 8 o'clock, as soon as we turn lights off, mice everywhere, and I don't do mice.
No,
So
no. Well, that and the fog was rolling in
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, it
front
was.
of it, and
Yeah.
it was significant. So
So we set up our tent about 8 o'clock last night, and glad we did. It was a lot warmer in there.
it was a lot warmer immediately when we got in it.
I felt like I got a lot bit better sleep doing that. So
Yeah.
I was really glad we did that. So we got about, I don't know, 3.6, and we'll call it 4 miles once we climb out of here to get to Ditch Creek Gap, and then we'll either, try to get a shuttle or just walk up towards the hostel.
Yeah.
And then, wash everything we own, dry everything we own, and
We're wearing bare minimal of because that's all we've got that's decent.
so got the very wet shoes.
Yeah.
Still have the wet,
Soggy, not just wet,
yeah.
soggy.
Wet, soggy,
Squish,
rain
squish.
rain jackets and pants, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but the clouds are lifting over there. We can actually see a view.
Yeah, and we saw this big orange thing earlier. But,
but it went away. We got so excited. The Ridge Runner did too. It was like, oh, is that the sun coming out? But anyway, it will eventually. But it's still fogged up on the tops.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
So we're gonna get moving.
We're gonna take our time because it's gonna be a bad down. So with all the wet and the mud. So, but we'll get at you later if we are able to get pictures or video. We'll definitely do it for you. Okay. Hope you guys have a good day.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey there again.
Yeah, we just did a closer for the other day because we realized we did not have a closer for the other day. Anyway, so this is the closer for today, which is the hike from Deep Gap Shelter to Dix Creek.
Yeah, so if you do remember from the last video, we was feeling really cold and just chill to the bone. I mean, it was we get pelted by rain constantly all day long and being very cold and the gusty wind. We just felt like we had to stay at Deep Gap Shelter, so we stayed there. And then we had told you we had, took our clothes off, got dry clothes, jumped into our bags for a couple hours just to try to get regulated temperatures. Once we did that, we were trying to decide, well, we'll stay in the shelter, shouldn't be that bad. Wrong. Uh, about 8 o'clock, the mice decided they wanted to
Sorry.
come out to play. So we went and set the tent up and really glad we did because it was a little warmer in there and it had a chance to dry out. So it was a good move there. And, of course, it was talking about, about being very drenched. I just wanted to give a shout out. So Flat Stanley wants to give a shout out to Brant and the Mountain Crossings team for his new raincoat, which was superb.
Yes.
And he's the only one that stayed dry.
He is.
Yesterday.
He is.
Yes.
So it worked, Brant. The new raincoat. It worked.
It did.
But anyway, back to serious news. We did want to kind of rehash what we were talking about on the video previously from the crappy night, the crappy day, and everything, and then from the one the opener for this video. But in serious talk, I do want to put it out there that Brian and I have about 17 years now experience in backpacking. We've even longer than that if you want to talk about just hiking in general. But backpacking, we have a lot of experience outside, a lot of experience camping in general. I mean, just a lot of experience with everything. And we still know who's in charge, and it is not us, not when we're out there. We've been in a lot of situations before, not by choice. It's just when you get out there, sometimes things happen, and this is one of those cases.
Yeah.
Most everywhere was predicting it just to be a cool, like a 40-degree rain episode. Well, it turned into way more than that. It turned into ice, and it was ice, all over the trail, ice forming on the trees. And as we walked, we had ice coming off of us and clinging to us. My hiking poles were frozen. My gloves were frozen. Everything was frozen. Ice was just on my pouch that I have on the front of my pack. It was ice. So it was a serious situation. So also we fell a couple times. I mean, it was the trail turned into a river. Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
It was just a muddy mess.
Yeah, and it was
walking
ankle deep.
Ankle deep water and mud.
Yeah.
And,
along with the ice.
Along with the ice and the
and the
leaves
wind.
and the wind and just everything together. So,
yeah.
So we got to the shelter around 3 o'clock trying to decide, could we actually make it another 4 miles. But at that point, I mean, I knew leading an hour before we got to Deep Gap that we were continuously getting very, very cold. Extremely getting cold. That we really needed to do everything we could to get to Deep Gap shelter.
Yeah.
And get warm and take care of that.
And,
so you really got to listen to your bodies and know when.
Well, and also, he's right about that, but you also have to listen to each other.
Yeah.
There's one thing I can stress as a hiking couple, even if you're just hiking partners, it doesn't matter. You need to listen to each other, because if you've got one saying this is going on with them, listen to that, take it here to that,
Yeah.
Because you're only as strong as your weakest partner. And
I
so,
wouldn't say weakest.
well, I say weakest, you know what I mean? It's not weakest as, yeah. But anyway, I was not in a good way. I was not in a good way. I was very miserable. And I quit the trail many times in that moment.
I mean, I was the same, but I was more concerned about making sure that she got, settled before I got settled. But at the end of the day,
it was just a bad predicament, and we knew that if we didn't go ahead and go down to Deep Gap shelter, it could get pretty bad. Like, I mean, I'd say in the next mile it would have been way worse. So we went down to Deep Gap, and we got in the shelter, got stripped down, got the dry stuff we did have in our pack. Thank God it was dry. And threw it on, got in our sleeping bags, and it was like night and day once we did that. But I just want to say that always take that to heart, that, we only had 3 miles left, that we could have gone ahead, but we weren't doing that. And not to mention the trail conditions that were going on at the moment, how everything was flooded. We weren't taking that chance.
No.
it just was not a good situation. So we just want to put out there that, please pay attention to that. If something happens like that, sometimes you're better off just throwing your tent up and getting in it and staying for the rest of the day. I mean, or getting to shelter like we did and going in. Yeah, you've only got 3 miles left, and that sounds like nothing, but it is a lot when you're hiking the Appalachian Trail or any trail like that, because 3 miles could still be another 3 hours. The trail conditions were horrible. It would have been another 3 hours. So in 3 hours, we could have been hypothermic state severely. No doubt about it at all. And as a matter of fact, the ridge runner himself said that it's one of the worst nights he'd seen, or one of the worst days he'd seen on the trail, doing the ridge running. So anyway, we just want to make sure that, I know we joke around a lot and stuff, but I wanted to make sure that you knew how serious the situation was, and to also think about the same things, like if you go into the same situation, with that. So, but anyway, we did make it to the hospital, as you can see. We got to Dix Creek Gap, and lo and behold, who was there? Two people that I hiked with in 2008. Shirley and Greta came, and they met us, and they took us to Hiawassee to eat, and then they paid for our food, and I mean, we were just like in shock.
Big shout out for that, for the beer and the burger.
It was just amazing. It was so good to catch up with them. I have not seen them in years. I mean, years. And we just had a good time talking and eating and everything. And it was just such a blessing to have them do that for us. And then they brought us back to the hostel, and it was just such a great time and everything. But we got back to the hostel, and then work was on. We had to get clothes washed, and we didn't have nothing to wear. It was just a mess. But got everything washed and cleaned, and kind of been lethargic ever since. But yeah, so we're just recouping, and hopefully we'll get figured out what we're going to do next or everything. But tomorrow we're taking the day off and getting some chores done and stuff, and then we'll probably be back at it the next day or something. But yeah, we'll definitely let you guys know what's going to happen and where we're going next and all that good stuff. And if you guys have any questions or comments about anything, including what happened to us, or anything about what we did to try to, help our situation, or anything, just put them down below, and we'll definitely get back with you about that. But we hope you guys have a good rest of the week, or a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. See you on the trail.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.